Hi class, it's Professor Sousa here. How are you guys? You guys look really good. You look like you're a little tired. Oh, I have a visitor on the floor. Hold on. Come on, you want to come up here and say hi? Oh, she never lets me get away. Here's Gracie. Say hi. They're right in that little box. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I missed you guys and I'm looking forward to next year. And I know you guys are just in the busy part of the semester trying to get through, get your final papers. You will make it. Just hang in there, get sleep, take your vitamin C, and your anxiety medicine if you need it, and you will make it. But next year, honestly, I know you'll be seniors and you have all the experience that you've gained in the classes so far. And next year I will have you for one class, and it's called the Community and Organization Practice Class, SWK 407. And the reason I love this class, honestly, it's one of my favorite classes to teach. I like policy, but I love this class as well. And the reason is because the goal, the way that this class is designed, it's designed to give you the skills that you need to make sustainable changes in the community, which sounds kind of anxiety producing, doesn't it? It sounds kind of big. But I'm going to talk to you about a couple things. The reason I wanted to meet with you today or send this video so you could, so I could tell you some things is because I'm hoping to alleviate some of your anxiety, and also I'm hoping that over the summer that you can begin to give some thought to what you might want to do, what you might be interested in. So I need some notes for myself here so I don't forget what I want to tell you. But basically, you guys have known one of my biggest complaints, I probably have 2 or 3 big complaints, but one of them has to do with what I call whiny social workers. Social workers who, and it could be whiny anyone, but people who just complain about society or the problems in society without having a solution. And I know there are big problems and not everything has a solution, but you know, this is where this is where our skills come in as social workers. We're you know, often if we just complain about what's going on, then we're not really helping the situation. So we can get frustrated, and we will as social workers. It's called burnout. But I'm hoping that by having some skills that you'll have a place to turn, or you'll have some confidence in yourself to make a difference when sometimes you're just overwhelmed and feeling like you're hitting your head against a wall, or systems are unjust, or just when you're frustrated with the way things are. Maybe there's policies you don't like, things going on in the community. I'm hoping that instead of being frustrated and burnt out, that you'll acquire the skills in this class so that you'll know that you can make a difference, and at least take steps toward that. So that's what this class is about. Basically, you know, I just want to say you guys have these skills, and that's the thing that I hope you will take away from the video here today, is that I want to encourage you to know that you really have these skills and you've been using them for quite a while. For example, the skills that I'm talking about are some, maybe let's say 3 basic skills. The skill to identify a problem. So in communities class, we're going to look for problems in the community. You're going to assess the situation, and you're going to come up with an intervention and carry it out. So maybe there's 4 steps to that. So identify a problem, assess the situation, devise an intervention, and carry it out. So let's just say when you were trying to convince your parents that you needed a new car, right? So you assess the situation. I don't know what the particulars were. Maybe all the cool kids had cars. Maybe you were feeling bad because your parents had to cart you everywhere. All right, so you assess the situation and you determine that you need a car, or you want a car, or it's causing problems in your life because you don't have a car. So then you devise a plan. Now, whether you realize you did this or not, and you can apply this to a different scenario, this is just the one I'm using, you probably didn't just go and say, hey Dad, I need a car, or hey Mom, I need a car and I think you should buy me one or help me get one. You probably figured out what would be a good time. Probably you thought about some convincing arguments. Maybe you offered to contribute something toward it. Maybe you convinced your parents that you could take your younger siblings to, I don't know, soccer practice or whatever they do. But anyway, you devised a plan and then you presented it if you were bold enough to. And that's simply what you're going to be doing in this class. It's going to be a little bigger in scope, but really what you're going to do is you're going to look for a problem in the community, and I bet you if you think about it, there are things already that frustrate you that are going on in the community. So you're going to look at that and say, okay, what am I really passionate about? What do I really wish was different? You're going to think about that, and then you're going to assess the situation and come up with an intervention. Very simple. So the reason I wanted to talk to you today is because I really want you to give some thought to this. The semester goes by really fast. We only have 16 weeks, 15 or 16 weeks in the semester. And so within the first 1 or 2 weeks of classes, you're going to have to come up with a plan. You're going to have to come up with a need that you want to address. Now, I'll help you with that. And in particular, I'm available over the summer. I will meet with you. I will talk to you via email or phone, because this is important to me, that you find something that you're interested in. Now, if you don't, I will have a backup plan. And I will have picked 1 or 2 agencies where you will work with them to address a need in the community. But I really prefer that you find something that you're passionate about, because it's going to excite you. It's going to make it a fun semester. And it just, I'd prefer you to do that, but I will have a backup plan for you. I just rather it become part of what you like to do. So think about it. There might be issues that you're concerned about in general, and you know, don't think any idea is dumb. You probably notice things and just run them by me. Now, I will tell you if I think it's doable or viable. And there are times I say no for a couple reasons. It may be that you identify something that's too big in scope, and you're not going to actually be able to carry it out in 16 weeks. Or it may be that you've identified something that you want to do, but there's no good viable connections that we have or that we can forge to connect you with, so that your plan and your ideas are able to be carried out. So that's just very brief. We'll learn more about this in class, but you really do have to have the buy-in from some key people in order to carry out an intervention. So really quick, because I don't want to take up all your time, but I'm going to post on our 407 website, or I hope it's up and running, I haven't checked, but I'm going to post what the assignments are so you can start to see how it flows together. This class is a practice class. That's the other thing I want to emphasize. This class is a practice class, so you actually have to do and carry out an intervention. And I think that's a little anxiety producing for students, because you know, so much of college, I know, we know it, you know, is like cram before the test, put things off until the papers due. You can't do that in this class. You really can't. You have to be working on, 16 weeks is not a lot, and to carry out an intervention, you have to be like ready to go from week 1, okay? So that's why I'm here to talk to you. When I say ready to go, it's that you have an idea of what you want to do and that you've talked to me about it. Or you've just told me I'm really frustrated, I don't have anything to do, and I know that I will plug you into something. The other thing is I want to encourage you to work with other people. You don't have to, because you guys are seniors. I'm not going to force you to work in a group. If you want to work with other people, you can work with 1 to 2 other people. So in other words, groups of up to 3 are okay, and I just require, my only requirement is that there's enough work for 3 people. For example, so if someone's doing, one person's doing a 1-person project, I'm expecting that a 3-person project is a little more complicated. Okay, so 1, you can work by yourself, 2 with another partner, or 3, but no more than that. Okay, and I've done this. I've taught this class for 5 years, so that is that's my conclusion on what's optimal for these projects. Because there's 2 sections, you need to work with someone who's in your class. A lot of the work we're going to do is going to be in class, and so I need you to be working with a student that is actually in your section. So figure out who your classmates are. I think you can see it on CMS or Moodle, but if you can't, let me know and I'll post the list for you to see. But you should be able to see who's in your class. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't want to take up all your time. So basically, just to run through, you're going to, in this class, you're going to come in with you're going to identify a need in the community. And I just want to spend a little time telling you about what I consider a community. Community is, well, it can be any community. So it could be the Roberts community. It could be your church community, or your synagogue, or your mosque community. It could be your, it could be the city of Rochester. It could be something international if you want to do. And we've had students do all of these areas. And I'll give you some examples if it helps. At Roberts 1 year, see, this can be really fun. And I don't want you guys just going, trying to pick the easiest thing, I guess, because I'm going to make sure that there's enough work in all the projects so that you guys are doing similar work. But what will make it fun is if it's an area that you're interested in. So for example, 1 year, I had 1 student. This was a 1-person project. She had, she was concerned because, you know, at Roberts we have, I understand there's a saying, ring by spring, and that students were all getting engaged, and she felt like a lot of it was kind of naive, and that people didn't really have a good understanding of what marriage entailed. And so that was her concern. And so what she decided to do, and this is what she did for her communities project, is she arranged for a therapist, a family therapist, to come in, someone who specialized in this area, and to do a seminar with students on marriage, or things to know before becoming engaged, or what you should consider. And so that might sound, hey, that's simple, but no, because when you're doing it, and it is, but it's perfect for a communities project, because you have to figure out, okay, is this person need to be paid? If so, how are you going to raise the funds? You have to do the publicity. You have to take care of making the arrangements so that you can get the facilities and make sure that you get students that are there. And also, that the intervention is one part of it. You actually have to prove that it's a need on the campus. And so we'll talk about this. This class is really a working class. A lot of times in class we'll be talking together to talk about how to refine needs, if it's a real need, a significant need, and how to make your intervention sustainable. So, so that's one example. I had a student 1 year, she was connected to Haiti. Her dad did some work in Haiti, and they wanted to open up a computer center there, like a computer lab. And so she worked, she got funding through the Joanna Fund. She worked to secure some computers, and then arrange for the details to make this self-sustaining. She actually raised funds so that the computers and the internet fee would be a feasible option for people living in Haiti. That was significant because they were disconnected from the world, and we know how important it is educationally and globally to be connected. And so now she did this as a 1-person project. This could potentially be a 3-person project because it was complicated, more complicated. But I've had students do things like set up emergency preparedness centers. There's lots of ideas I can give you. The one thing that you have to keep in mind is that in order to fit the criteria for this class, which is a community organization or an organization intervention, it has to be an intervention at the community level. And like I said, that how you define community could be as small as the social work department. You know, just check with me, but when you're thinking about something, and we'll talk about it, or it could be as large as something internationally. So it has to be an intervention that takes place at that level, and it has to be self-sustaining, meaning there's a difference between having computers donated to Haiti, because that's going to make a long-term difference. It's an intervention. It's a need that's actually hindering a community in Haiti, or an educational program like the premarital counselor that came in. That's going to affect the lives of people considering getting married. And so different than a counseling session or doing volunteer work someplace. So we'll talk more about this in class, because I don't want to take up all our time here. But basically that's the gist of it, is what if I've overwhelmed you with information, that wasn't my intent. My intent was to hopefully alleviate the anxiety, because my goal for this class is that you leave here feeling confident in your abilities to make change when necessary. And email me. I do miss you guys. I really do. I know you think I'm just saying that, but I really miss you guys. And I look forward to next semester. And please email me with any questions you have. Sometimes I might ask you for a phone number if it's something we need to talk through on the phone. But I'm really happy to talk to you about this, because this is an important class. These are important skills for you to have. And I want to make sure that you come into class ready to hit the ground and running in the fall. Okay? All right. So thank you, Dr. Crawford, for letting me have some time in your class, and finish strong, guys, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, bye now.